We also have a very special guest joining us today as well from Boardman, the new AAC champion. She medaled in yesterday's AAC championship. We have Sophia Rivera joining us from Boardman. Sophia, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today as well.
Oh, you're welcome.
You got it. Let's go. Let's talk about this round yesterday. You shoot a 77. You get the medal in the AAC championship. I know that was a goal for you all season. What did it feel like to put together such an awesome round?
I was so excited for myself because honestly, I was very stressed all last week because I didn't do the best last week. I shot a 45 and a 43, which isn't bad, but it's not what I wanted. And so it just made me nervous. But then I was like, if I have a bad week now, next week I'm going to do amazing. So, and I just mentally prepared myself, and it worked.
You say you mentally prepared yourself. What kind of things do you do to stay mentally sharp on the golf course, especially like you said, after a week that you knew you weren't up to your standard? What kind of things were you doing leading up to this week to make sure you were in the right mental frame?
I always tell myself, one shot at a time. And I watch golfers on YouTube, and I've seen them shoot like a 65, and then I've also seen them not do the best. So, and I just keep telling myself that it is normal. Not everyone is going to be perfect all the time, and it's just keep that in your head. It really helps.
So let's talk about this round. It wasn't the greatest conditions yesterday. It was a rainy day, and you weren't feeling your best. I know that. I know you weren't feeling your best yesterday as either. How did you get through all that? That's a lot to get through and to still shoot a 77.
Well, Sunday, I golfed at the South Course, and right after I was done, I was like, I do not feel good, and I was a little nervous because I thought my body was going to be real sore. But then Monday, I just went to bed early. My dad made me some tea and took medicine, and then I woke up, and luckily I was feeling good enough that I knew I could power through it.
And then talk about the conditions as well yesterday. I mean, it wasn't the best. It wasn't sunny in 85. It wasn't beautiful golf weather. It was a little rainy, a little wet, a little soggy. How do you navigate through that?
Towards the beginning, it was just colder, and because it was colder, I was able to wear my lucky pants, and which I think they were pretty lucky. But it poured. My last hole, it was pouring, and me and the girl I was playing with, we just like putted just to get off because there was no way we were going to be able to wait for the rain to pass.
Brian Tolnar joining us from Mill Creek Golf Course, and he always adds great golf expertise to these interviews. I'm going to hand it over to him. He's got a few questions for you as well.
You got it. Well, impressive win yesterday. 9 shots over the second lowest score in that field. So that's pretty impressive. Like he said, the conditions weren't the greatest towards the end of the day there. What were some things that you really capitalized on that the other players in the field, seemed to struggle with to put a good score up?
So, Boardman and Canfield have one of the biggest rivalries, especially in golf. It's always been like neck and neck every other year. And my goal all season was to beat Canfield. Even though I love those girls, I think the girl I play with helped me do better because we just had fun. But the course was also longer, so I think maybe that had a part to do with it. Or when, say, they would mess up, it would get in their head. Which is I do that a lot, but it didn't happen to me yesterday, and maybe it happened for others.
Well, I think, obviously the weather changing this time of year, makes the golf courses play a lot different and very similar to what you're going to see come sectionals, district, in a state golf tournament. What's your aspirations as we move along through finishing up the regular season with the 9-hole matches and the league championship yesterday, going into those sectionals and districts, and what are you focusing on and what are you working towards as you prepare yourself for a run at the state tournament?
One shot at a time. Try not to let one bad shot ruin your whole round. And even if the weather is bad, it could, like, you just have to work with it because there's other people that are working with it. And especially at districts, they're going to do really good. It's very competitive at districts. And last year, I think I let the weather get in my head. Also, like, a bad shot. My first hole wasn't very good, and that I let it ruin my whole round, and I cannot do that this year.
What does a normal week look like for you when it comes to practice? What are the things that you do on a regular basis to prepare yourself?
So say I'll have maybe 2 matches. Yeah, just 2 matches a week, maybe, or 3. It's different. But then I'll go to the driving range a few of those days, and then, like, my off days. And then I'll just try to go out with my friends. Last week I went by myself. And then on the weekends, usually I'll go with my dad and my grandpa, and we'll play 18.
And last question from me, and I told you this yesterday. I said, you made me look very good because I picked you to win the individual medalist for the overall tournament, so I couldn't be more happy about that. What are a couple of your things that really makes you enjoy the game of golf, and what makes the game special to you?
I think your good moments are what keeps you going, and just the competitiveness against yourself. Honestly, I've noticed that it doesn't even matter who I play with. I'm still going to be so competitive. And I think I just love it. And it just keeps me going.
We saw Boardman's social media make the big announcement about your future. You're going to walk on as a YSU Penguin and continue your golf career at Youngstown State. Talk about that decision and what went into it, and how excited you are to continue your golf career after high school.
So I looked at a few other schools before that, and then Coach Miklos, he reached out to me, or I reached out to him in January, and it was just like a little email. And then he reached out to me again, and he said, there's actually some open spots. Are you still interested? And I was like, yes, actually I am. And then I talked to him, and he just pointed out that they play at Mill Creek a lot, and I just think that's really like a benefit for me because I play there. And then I also like that I could just go home and see my family and my dogs whenever I want.
When you were thinking about Brian, you got it. You go.
I was going to say, that's some pretty cool stuff. I mean, not too many people get the opportunity to play their high school golf and use their high school career at the same place that their collegiate team plays. So that's definitely pretty special. From an education and an academic standpoint, what are you looking to do for a career path as you head into college?
So I actually have a few things. Right now, currently, I'm set on maybe forensic psychology or something forensics. Something along those lines is what I'm looking for. But if I'm going to be honest, I'm probably going to change my mind.
So if we have to talk about role models and inspirations before we let you go, and the people in your life that really drive you forward, and like you've already talked about bouncing back from tough rounds and rounds where you don't meet your standard. I'm sure you got people in your life that have your back that help you do that. Who are the people that you consider role models in your life?
Definitely my parents and my grandfather. Last week when I didn't do my best, my mom told me, she was like, it's okay to shoot that. And her telling me that really made me feel better about myself because I was really just, not being very positive. But it was good to hear that and know that someone else likes that.
My last question for you before we let you go. We talked about bouncing back from the not so good rounds, but this is a great round, a 77. How are you going to not bounce back, but stay even and not get too high on a really good round and bring really good golf to your next time out?
Well, make sure I don't let shooting a 77 get in my head, because obviously that's not going to happen every time. It never does. And just keep the same. I want to keep the same mindset that I had, like one shot at a time, because we play Canfield Thursday, so it's kind of like the same thing again. So one shot at a time, and just to, if I hit a bad shot, that it is okay. Just let it go.
Tracy Rivera giving you some love in the comments. You're getting a lot of love in the comments. You're popular. We getting a lot of views, and we thank you so much for taking time out of your school day to come on and be with us and talk about your great round in the AAC championship. Congratulations. Good luck the rest of the way, and we can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank
Great
you.
job, Sophia.